All right, good afternoon, Hawks, and today we're going to talk about people first language. Just to make sure we have some clear and identifiable ways to identify some of our students here, just as a refresher, and maybe even for some of you, a bit of an education due to the fact that it is somewhat of a new concept. What is people first language? Basically, to try to give a simple definition of this is a very difficult task. It normally falls into the people first language is putting the person before the disability. Okay, making sure that we describe what a person has and not who a person is. Looking at the student you have in classroom, getting to know them beyond what their disability is, getting to know what motivates them, what drives them, what helps them succeed. Okay, if we as individuals in our classroom want to make sure that people with disabilities are not only included in all aspects of our classroom and in later life society, it's important that they be respected and valued as our fellow citizens. We must stop using language that marginalizes them and sets them apart. Okay? And I know that for most of us here, we're all very, very professional, and we don't do that in front of students. However, we don't always know when we're talking in the hallways or in our meetings what's heard and what's not heard. So to critique a little bit of some of the things, I do hear a lot of us referring to our students, especially if they come from Samson's room or Hill's room. They're autistic, they're SPED, their behavior issue. I know most of this comes from a lack of knowledge, not out of spite or animosity. If it was, then we'd be having a completely different conversation. And at this point, we all know of a few that have, and we are really stressing, guys, in the future to make sure that we are staying on point. So, proposing a new way of speaking. Here I've listed a few ways to talk about that. In your boxes, I will have this list here just as a way to help. A few of them we'll discuss. Mentioning a student has autism, not they're autistic. Okay, mentioning that they have it, not that they are it. That makes sense. Okay. Instead of saying it's kid's nonverbal or they're in SPED or a SPED kid. Okay, they receive special ed services. Okay, they're children without disabilities instead of they're developmentally delayed. And other ones, okay, is she needs or she uses. Okay, let's look at the positive. Okay, they need this to be successful. They use this to be successful. Not they have problems doing math or they have problems reading in class. So if we can kind of try and steer our conversations and everything towards a positive way. Okay, so that's a little brief summary of what this is, why it is important, and a little chart here to help us kind of propose new ways of speaking. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Here's, of course, where I got my sources from. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to ask. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.